Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Historical Gamer again. Thank you for tuning in for what is part 3 of my Buzz Aldrin. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Part 4 of my Buzz Aldrin Space Program Manager Let's Play as the Soviets. If you remember last time, I just cut out in the middle of hiring some astronauts, mainly because I just couldn't bring myself to stop playing. I intended to only play for a half an hour, ended up playing for over an hour and 20 minutes. Wanted to break it into 2 parts and just kind of had to force myself to do it awkwardly. I know I kind of talk about it multiple times in this next part that I'm going to end the video here or there, but that was really because it was just kind of live recording while I was playing. I didn't initially plan to break this into multiple parts. I didn't plan to play as long as I did. But anyway, that's just proof that I really enjoy this simulation or this, I guess, strategy management game more than anything. But anyway, without too much more of me jibber-jabbering, let's get back into the race to the moon as the Soviets, currently ahead of the Americans in the race into space. And without further ado, let's jump back in. Thanks for watching. Again, finding high enough quality people, though, that's the challenge. 50% just seems so unreliable now. But we could probably do that with our unmanned programs. You know, if it fails, it's not that bad. Got a really long string of successes, which is a nice aspect. Also, while you see these shadows here, the GSA version actually has pictures of people who participated at the Apollo level of the program in the early access. They're working on getting historical photos for the campaign portraits. Oh, we just don't have that many good individuals at this point. 5 candidates, so we've now got 18 people. They're training at the moment. Manage programs. Since we did the lunar flyby, we don't need that program open any longer. And I'd say at this point, we probably want to get a Vostok into orbit. So wait a minute. I don't see the point doing an uncrewed orbital flight. I think we're just going to do a human orbital flight. I wonder if we can do duration 2 right away. I don't know if it's going to penalize us at all. What do we still need to do? Orbital duration 1. Orbital flight? Can we do that without a penalty? Yeah, okay. So we're going to go ahead and launch our first manned launch of the Vostok manned program. You can see here we've got pretty darn good ground crew assisting us. Confirm the assignments. Go ahead and put this cosmonaut in here, confirm assignments, and go ahead and launch the Vostok. It's going to be a orbital flight. We've already launched several human space flights. We're actually going to make this one a little bit longer, this video a little bit longer. We've already launched several successful launches of various programs, but yeah, we need to open up the Zond biosatellite, or should we do the Luna 2 lunar impactor? That one we don't have to orbit. So we're going to do the lunar impactor. We can do the Luna rocket as well. Will carry us there. We go with the space probe. It's going to start at 75% reliability, again, because of our previous work with the Luna program. So go ahead and get those guys working. We can actually also maybe do the biosatellite circumlunar flight, I wonder. I don't know if we have a rocket. We don't have a rocket capable of taking it. But we can R&D the components nonetheless. So we get to work on that. And I think all our scientists are now working. Yes, they are. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump to the end of the current season. You can see there we're still making progress on these various rockets. And yeah, so I'll go ahead and proceed. We've got a orbital flight that we're launching with a Vostok capsule. So I'm doing this mainly because I don't want to jump straight ahead to 2 crew. I want to just kind of jump through the Vostok program as quickly as we can, hopefully with high reliability because of our spaceplane route earlier. I've already done an orbital flight, but I want to get some experience with actual crewed capsules as opposed to spaceplanes. Oops. Hope you can hear me again. The audio is kind of loud here. We already did the uncrewed Vostok launch, so this is our first crewed one. Mainly because I want to get to duration 2, which we couldn't do with the spaceplane, but we can do with the Vostok, before we jump into 2 people crewed launches. Uh-oh. It's like, what is wrong? Did his parachute just randomly fail as he's landing? It pays to have a good control crew, as that mission was successful, and I nearly had a heart attack. Vostok orbital flight. Yay! The U.S., meanwhile, got their first orbital flight as well. So we're still beating them. Our prestige is creeping upwards almost to the max. One more successful mission should get us really up there. And I think what the next launch will be, we've accomplished 8 of the 9 goals. Really what we haven't done for the Vostok program, what we need to do is an orbital duration 2. We've already done a duration 1 with the spaceplane, so we can just jump ahead to duration 2 really, which is nice. We'll make this our last mission here before we end this video. This one's been a bit longer, so we can kind of skip through a lot of the Vostok program because we've already accomplished all the goals that the program entails. But again, this is all really good experience for our various mission control people. We've got a whole bunch of people training who should be out of training very shortly. Actually, I want to go ahead and give some of these other guys advanced training. Let's see. Fitness, you need that. You need better fitness if you're going to be... Same for you, because as these missions get longer, you're going to need fitness. So we've got those 2 guys. We've got 4 more scientists who are ready. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to open up... we can't open up a new program yet, can we? We need to expand our launch control center. We need to make it bigger so we can make bigger rockets. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Our vehicle assembly building, it's going to take 3 turns to upgrade, though. So we want to get those assigned to a new program, I would say. We've got the Zond, we've got the Luna. We should probably do maybe the Mars probe. I don't know if we have a rocket that can take anything there. Doesn't look like we do. But we can at least get these guys working on it. They look like they're pretty good at space probes, so assign them all to that. I don't know if we have any programs we can close. Still working. Nope, we want to have all those open. Good. All right, we're going to go ahead and launch this, and I know I said this before, but this will be the last launch. We'll be going into 64, so we won't do another launch for this particular video. This will be our last one, as this video is creeping up over 40 minutes now. I apologize for how long it's been, but I really kind of gotten hooked into this. It's kind of one of those, it's almost a Civ-like experience, just one more turn type thing. So we're going to monitor for mission control. It's a duration 2 launch. We've done a duration 1 with our space planes. We have not done a duration 2, so this will be new. I think this might be this cosmonaut's first launch as well. I didn't check to see what his fitness level is. Hopefully that's not a concern. Another problem during landing, just like last time. No! Oh. Why do we always have these problems during landing? No. It's always during landing. Mission step outcome successful. Andrei Yashenko has fallen in the line of duty. I think we don't really have much choice. I know I said this was the last launch, but I want to succeed in that mission before I let you go. So we're going to try that duration. We've already done the joint. We don't need to do a joint with the Vostok, but we're going to go ahead and do another launch. These guys, these crews should be getting good here with all these constant launches. We're going to actually pull Max, or wait, no, who is it? Capcom. He's the astronaut. We're going to put this other guy here. So we're going to put our best cosmonaut, the guy who's done pretty much almost all of our successful missions with a handful of exceptions. We're going to go ahead and put him in charge. We're getting, not close, I'd say, but anyway. So we're going to go ahead and jump through all this. Blah, 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 blah. Proceed. Launch. All right. Cross your fingers that we don't have a problem with the whole landing thing on the Vostok capsule again. I really don't like that ejection thing. That's just dumb. Why would you jump out of a perfectly good spacecraft? So far, everything's okay. I wonder if it was the duration level. The guy maybe wasn't fit enough to do it. I don't know. He's just too exhausted, forgot to pull his parachute or something. Man, this video was going so well, too. It was almost a flawless video. Almost every single mission was a success. And then that one, a 70% chance of getting through, and it failed anyway. So here we come, the moment of truth, the ejection, cosmonaut landing, and all of that. Of course, good old reliable cosmonaut, everything goes smoothly for him. Alright, so 2800 prestige earned, achievement unlocked, extended duration, so duration 2. And the Vostok program's pretty much done. So we can see the US has, what? Project Apollo test flights in Earth orbit? Really? They're opening the Apollo program already? Holy crap. I guess all they did was open the program, technically. We're going to need a bigger booster, though. I guess we still can't do it until next turn when the thing's done. We can do 2 programs now, actually. Or 2 launches now. I think we've got enough people. So I think what we're going to do, the Lunar 2 impactor, I think we could probably do pretty reliably. Doesn't take up too many components either. These guys are all pretty darn good at their jobs. Do we want to do our first 2-man spacecraft launch? I think we've pretty much done everything we need to do in the the actual Vostok program. So I think we're going to go ahead and manage here. The Vostok program is at, how many of its goals have we met? All 9. So we can close that program down. Save us some money. Not that we're strapped for cash at this point. The Voskhod program is the next one. The average reliability is 94%. So we can go ahead and assemble this one. We're going to do 2 launches this turn. But we're going to go back to the mission command center. And we're going to assemble mission, clear all positions back, assemble mission. We want to make sure our best people are on this launch because this has this has human beings aboard. Although this is going to be an uncrewed flight, I believe, just to test the capsule because we have not used this capsule before. So confirm assignments, 5,000. Yeah, it's an uncrewed suborbital flight, but it's a brand new capsule, so I want to make sure we test it properly. Meanwhile, this one's not going to have the best crew of mission control, but we don't have much of a choice here. So hopefully we don't lose too much massive prestige. Doing our first 2-flight mission here. And here we go. I keep saying it's the last mission, but I keep doing one more. It's very Civ-like. So basically this is just a satellite that gets launched and collides with the moon and sends back data. Translunar injection. Earth-Moon transit. Success. Moon approach. Uh-oh. Only a 50% chance. This is where having that poor crew comes into play. Failure. Darn it. So we failed in the moon approach. Whatever that means. Mission failed. Negative 450 prestige. Nothing too bad. You know, it's an uncrewed flight, so we can always launch another one. All we did was lose money, and right now we're flushing that. So downgrade of the Luna 2 by 6%. Upgrading the Luna booster, though, by 3.5%. And now we're doing the uncrewed suborbital flight of the Voskhod capsule. So hopefully we'll get at least one success out of this turn. This is with our A crew, our A flight crew, or flight controllers. It's a slightly modified Vostok capsule to have a two-man crew, essentially. First flight of the Voskhod capsule. Again, it's uncrewed, so if it fails, nothing too bad, but we want to make sure we get some good testing in before we put actual humans in this. This game really has a momentum to it. So do you stay in the capsule this time? Okay. As I was saying, this game really has kind of a momentum to it, and that was a success, by the way. This game really has a momentum to it where once you start kind of playing, once you really get into it, you get into the 60s and things really start rolling and there's a lot going on. You really don't want to leave. You don't want to stop playing. As you can see here, the U.S. has done their first duration level 1 space flight. So I think what we do this turn is we go ahead and we launch another Vostok or whatever it's called program. We did an uncrewed suborbital flight. I don't know if we really need to do an uncrewed or a crewed suborbital flight. Can we jump right to orbital? None of our rockets are capable of lifting the payload. Lame. Suborbital, I bet they are. So we've got to get the Soyuz research going. We don't have any available scientists right now for that. Schedule mission, assemble. So you can see we're going to have our A crew because we are going to have actual astronauts in this mission. Some of the areas where we haven't had a whole lot of experience, like flight, AFD, FAO, we don't have quite as much experience. We've got 2 cosmonauts going up here. We've got Sergei Dumpkin, who's a pretty reliable guy. We've got our Capcom as our most reliable astronaut. I don't want to have him die in our first flight with the humans. Go ahead and get that done. So move back. I don't know if we have any programs we can close. Not really. We can probably reassign some scientists, though. I don't know what the reliability factor is on the Luna or on the Vostok, but I feel like we probably should be putting some different scientists into different rockets. The Molina boosters at 85%. Those guys aren't really good at rocket research anyway, so where are our scientists? What are they all doing? R&D components. Yeah, we don't need to do the Luna 2 anymore. Sorry, guys. You are being reassigned. We're going to reassign them to a bigger, better rocket because we need something that can take guys multiple crews. So I guess the Soyuz booster, human rated, is the next. Oh, we could do the Which is better, 6,200 or 5,900? So this is an R7. They're both R7s. We're going to open up the Soyuz booster. I think it's a more advanced design. Starts at 75% reliability, again, because we've already got quite a bit of reliability there. So that'll take us into orbit with the Soyuz with the Vostok capsule. And I'm not going to try another one of those lunar injection or lunar ones here for the moment. We're going to do we're doing crewed suborbital first two-man space crew attempting to get 2 people into space at once. Spacecraft deployment. Suborbital flight. Uh-oh. Problem, 78% chance of success. I don't know what that means. It says it's stuck on warning. Another problem. That one was quickly resolved. I want to know why it said that one stayed in warning. I wonder if it gives you an idea of what happened. Okay, so successful. We are in the prestige, 4,100 points. And tell me what went wrong. Why did it say warning? Suborbital Vostok flight. So the U.S. still hasn't done anything with that. 2 crewed space capsule success. I'm curious about that. I guess maybe it represents like a minor glitch that wasn't prohibitive. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I may split it up into 2 parts. I know I've been talking about how I keep on playing, can't stop myself. We're into 1964. Well, maybe we should do one more turn just to get to 65. Why don't we do that? I keep saying that. Like I said, I'll probably split this video into 2 parts anyways, so you might not notice. Okay, so we're working on the Soyuz booster. We've got 4 scientists not assigned to anything. We could open a new rocket program. Apparently we can't do the N1 booster yet, which is our moon rocket. We can do the Proton K, which I think is going to be what we're going to need for a lot of our probe rockets. It's a much more powerful rocket, so we're going to go with that here. Can get a lot more stuff out of orbit, and nicely enough, it starts at 75%. Interesting, because it's not based off of current rocket designs. It's a whole new rocket design, which is kind of cool. I don't know why it would do that, but anyway. So we're going to go ahead and do our lunar probe. We're going to do the Luna 2 impactor. We're going to let the Soyuz program get a little bit more up in research before we actually put a human in it. So we're going to put our A-team behind this project, which you can see these guys are good. You know, everyone's a 90 except for the flight director. So we should be able to get the, hopefully get the Luna 2 to the moon, and then we'll end it here there. You can see the Molina boosters, pretty reliable, almost maxed out. The Zond 5 program's getting pretty far along. The Mars M69 is making some good progress. The Soyuz booster is almost ready for prime time. And actually the Proton K probably as well, given the fact that it's not manned, so you don't lose as much prestige as if you fail. But here we go, the second attempt at a lunar impactor. By the way, if you find this type of stuff boring, just watching what's happening, and you get tired of kind of the same launch sequence over and over for a lot of these rockets that, for the Russians, admittedly, look all the same, you can certainly skip this. You don't have to watch every single mission like I do. I just enjoy it. You can skip right to the results. Man, the Russian thing looks like something out of Star Wars, like those little probes that land on Hoth. Those little unmanned probes that like search for people. Successful impact in the moon, 2800 prestige. Excellent. Lunar impactor, study of the structure of the moon, level 1. Study the structure of lunar soil, level 1. Close-up picture of the moon, level 1. Upgraded all those particular programs. The opposing faction has opened the following programs. Pioneer 2 Lunar Orbiter. Okay, so that was a successful launch. These guys' morale's pretty good. We've only got 4 astronauts, though. We need more. We need at least a 5th. If only to be like the Capcom guy back home. Just gonna hire those 3 more. I don't think there's any other flights to do with the Luna 2. Nope, all of its goals are accomplished, so we can close that program. It's the only thing it has. So we'll go ahead and close the Luna 2 program, the impactor program. I don't know if that frees up some scientists. Doesn't appear to. But the Luna booster rocket, we don't have anyone assigned to that anyway. The Molina at 86% is pretty darn high up there. And we've got 3 rocket programs currently in work, or being worked on. The Zond is... Where is its reliability? I don't even see where its reliability is. Well, it's going to take the Proton, so we're probably going to want to wait a little bit longer on that. So it's going to take the Proton. So it looks like we were good in opening up the Proton program. I think we're going to go ahead and expand the launch facilities one more time. Probably want to expand the astronaut center, and maybe our scientists. Oh no, we can't further upgrade our scientists, so we're maxed out on that. Oh no, we can actually get more scientists though. We should probably do that. Money is the least of our problems right now. So we just hired 6 more scientists. And again, money at the current point, we're making 16,000 profit. That's before our actual launch expenses, but nothing's really costing us 16,000. And our current prestige setup is set to max our budget out again next turn when we get a new budget in 8 turns. So money is not the problem right now. If we take a look at the flight crews, there should be somewhere where you see like a wall of honor or something like that. There's got to be somewhere you can see like a wall to the fallen, right? Maybe not. Maybe headquarters. Well, we can go to goal comparison. You can see we've done the lunar probe. We've tied the U.S. on that. The lunar flyby, we tied the U.S. on that. Lunar impactor, we beat the U.S. on that. Substantially beat the U.S. on extended duration 1. They haven't done duration 2 yet. Man in space, beat them there by quite a bit. Man in orbit, beat there by more. They haven't even done a joint launch yet. Spaceplane, tied on that. 2 crewed spacecraft, beat them on that. So it feels like we still have quite a bit of a lead. Again, I don't know if I want to launch the Voskhod orbital flight yet. It's going to take a Soyuz, isn't it? It's only at 78% reliability. We could do an uncrewed orbital flight with it. Before we send up a human. That way we get an actual launch of the Soyuz capsule before we send up humans. So why don't we do that? We're just going to get these guys more and more experience. Again, I'm not worried about money right now. So go ahead and do that. It's going to cost almost 8,000, but again, we're making 16,000 profit every turn. So we're going to go ahead and end this current season. I know I said I was going to stop with Q1, but I just am a junkie, I guess. Uncrewed suborbital launch for the Vostok orbital. And then the next turn we'll have a crewed orbital space flight, 2-man space flight. We've already got a problem on launch. 73% chance it's fixed. And it is. Alright, so 73% chance as I adjust my microphone. So down to countdown, you can see the Soyuz rocket looks a bit bigger. I think it has an extra stage. We can also launch the Soyuz capsule if we decide to go that route. Which I believe would probably be our 3-person space capsule. But there's a 2-person version of it as well. The Russians sure loved their multiple engine rockets. The US usually used, the Mercury flights were 2-engine flights and 1-engine flights. The Gemini flights were 2-engine flights, and the Apollo flights were 5-engine flights. The Russians really loved those cluster boosters on the side there, and the N-1 rocket was no different. Their moon rocket had over 30 engines. That was probably why the thing failed. It's because it had... Oh, failure. Well, at least there was no one on board. Only lose 125 prestige, hardly a disaster, as it failed during the re-entry phase. So the booster gets downgraded, but at least the Soyuz gets upgraded. The US has done the Lunar impactor, which we did last turn. And they've started the Lunar orbiter program, which I don't know if we've started that or not. But anyway, so I'm going to cut this video off here. Again, I'll probably split it into 2 parts, so you may already be watching just a 30-minute clip instead of an hour and 12-minute clip, which is as long as I've been playing. Soviets have a bit of a lead, although the U.S. is kind of keeping close on our heels, keeping us honest. It's 1965. I don't know if we'll get to the moon by 1970. I'm not sure on that, but I am pretty certain that we're doing pretty darn good. We should get get our max budget at the next budget review here in 7 turns, unless some things go horribly wrong, and we're on the cusp of 2-man space flight and orbital flight. So far, so good. Things are going all right, and I appreciate you tuning in. This is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm out.